that better? Yeah, that's better. Welcome back. Welcome back to yet another Polo project video. Can you believe projects take longer than you always think they're going to take? Who knew? So again, what are we doing? More paint stuff, I guess. Stuff that I quite frankly ran out of time for in the first video. So like what? Well, we're going to paint the door handles. We're going to colour match those to the car. I just think it'd look tidier, especially after seeing how the lip there for the front bumper came out. So they're definitely getting tidied up. The next thing then we're going to do is, now what's that, you might say? Well, that is, it's kind of hard to describe, like it's hard to get the point across just by looking at it, because it actually looks like a broken piece of something. But oh, that is a Zender spoiler for the 6N, specifically for 6N. It says it right there, Zender VWA concept, whatever that means, I'm not entirely sure. But I did a little bit of research, and apparently it's quite a rare spoiler, so despite the look of it, I guess. But as I said, I did a bit of research and I only found 2 listings for it. One was from a UK Polo Owners Club post from like 2012, I think it said. Just some guy had put up a picture saying there happens to be one of these spoilers on a 6N in a scrapyard somewhere in England. And the other one was a listing for one for sale from just some a random Polish scrapyard back in 2017, I think, which I might message them and see if it just happens to still be there out of curiosity, but I doubt it. Anyway, so yeah, that makes it pretty rare. So let's take a closer look at it now. It looks really rough there. I guess, like, I don't know, did it used to be black or something, but the listing that I saw on the English website described it as being on a black car with, it said with damage on one corner, same as that, and it said damage on another corner, which is that. So the fact that they're kind of rare and you don't see them very often from what I've researched, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the very same spoiler that has made its way through, you know, various Polo owners in England, because I did get that from a guy in England. So that may well be that same spoiler from that post, but we'll never know, I guess. So what do we need to do with it? Well, that corner, as I just said there, it's got a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. It's got a bit of damage up here, which I've just shown you. Again, nothing too crazy, but the underside has a lot of damage. There's the underside, big chunk taken out of it there, another big chunk there, a bit there, and obviously all the old sealers or glue, whatever you want to call it, is still on it. Now, I'm not too bothered about those chips because they're on the underside, which you'll see in a second on the car, but I might take care of them and I might not. I haven't quite decided, but at the very least we obviously need to get rid of all of that stuff, the old sealer, before we prep it. But I think for now, I think I'll stick it on the car and just give you an idea what it looks like on the car. I think it looks really, really cool. It's easier to tell now side profile, and obviously it's kind of hard to see with all that crap in the background. Maybe we can see a bit better from the other side. We'll have a little look. It's not much better, but yeah, you get the idea. I really like it. I think it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is take it, oh yeah, just the fit doesn't look great there, but that's fine. That just needs a bit of body work. That corner, but the shape and all that is nice. But I get it, I guess being a Zender piece, it's bound to fit pretty good. So yeah, I like it. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like on the car. So let's get it back off the car and get started. Thing we're going to do is, I suppose, a bit of heat and a wire brush or a wire thing on the drill or something, and see how much of this old sealer we can get off. It's going to make a huge mess, but so be it. And the spoiler being well, sounds like fiberglass, doesn't sound like plastic, so I guess it's fiberglass. I can't go too crazy with it because I don't want to start digging material out of the spoiler, if that makes sense. So we'll see. I might hit it with a bit of heat, or I might just try it bareback with the wire wheel and see what happens and get as much of that off as we can. That'll allow me to fit it up better to the car and see how much bodywork is needed, if at all, along here. Sealer coming off Made no real difference as to how it fits, which I'm kind of not surprised at, but at least it's gone. Anyway, I would have needed a clean surface to mount it, so I won't need to do very much there. A little bit of filling just there, tiny little bit right there. Kind of the same on the other corner, just there, very little. Now, whether I'll do anything on the bottom parts, I don't know. You can see a little bit there, a little bit there. Yeah, there's quite a lot along there, like that whole chunk there is missing. But whether it needs doing or not is another thing. Maybe we'll open up the boot and see. Will that stay on? Kind of safe. So when the boot's open, you'll see all of that. But do I really want to deal with that? No, I don't want to deal with that. I think it'll be fine. Once it's painted silver and it's glued onto the car, I don't think you'll really pay any attention to that. So I can only assume those chunks are from when the guy I bought it off was trying to get it off his boot lid, that a couple of chunks came off it or something like that. So luckily they're on the underside, so we're not doing an awful lot of body work. So let's get started on that body work. That's not too bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. I had a couple of issues with the primer. Not only am I almost out of it, but those nozzles clog up very, very, very quickly. So say the first time you spray with an aerosol, you get a lovely kind of fan pattern, like a big wide fan pattern. And then after a couple of sprays, it just starts to clog up, and then it gets worse and worse and worse and kind of spattery. But if you look down across it there, not bad. I'd rather have a couple of little runs in the primer than I would the paint. I also need to figure out a better way to position it when I actually paint it. I might see if there's a way that I can, I don't know, what could I could probably hang it off the lift arm. That's a good idea. Yeah, we might do that. Right, we'll stick the heat in front of this and cross all of our things that we can cross. So it's the next day, and as you can see, I've ghetto rigged 2 screwdrivers onto the stands there to keep the spoiler elevated, so it's a bit easier to paint. I thought about it again last night, and hanging it off the lift arm, while it wouldn't be a bad idea if I was painting something small, but we're going to have base coat and lacquer and all that stuff. There's just too much stuff, especially the lowrider, that it can, now I know it's covered, but I don't want to be getting too much overspray. I'm trying to keep it fairly confined, even though I know that's contradictory considering I'm painting in an open shed. But anyway, so we're going to take that off the stand there in a minute, give it a quick scuff, clean it off, and then what I did this morning, because it's very, very cold, all the paint I'm going to need for today, I've just put it all into some hot water there and let it warm up, and it should be a little bit easier to spray in the coming couple of hours. I should have been doing that all the time, but quite frankly I forgot. So let's get to scuffing this and getting some more paint on. So that's that piece finished, so we'll see what that is like in the morning. So for now, what we're going to do is pull off the door handles. Now, if I remember right, a while since I was at this kind of thing, I think you just pop out that Torx bit and say the door handle just kind of pops out and then shimmies over or something like that. We'll find out for sure in a minute. But someone in the last video did mention, why don't I get door handles from a 5-door, because obviously the back door wouldn't have the keyhole, and I think that's a brilliant idea. I did think about it. That car doesn't have remote locking, but down the line eventually I'll put a central locking kit into it, and then maybe I'll do it and paint those door handles. It'll definitely look an awful lot cleaner. But for now, we're just going to pop those 2 door handles off and get them painted. Okay, I made a little bit of a mistake, and I don't know how I didn't think of this, but I've loads of the paint almost done, and then I go and forget the flipping tow hook cover thing from the front bumper. So that's as good as cured. The door handles are in primer, and then that's in the good primer. So hopefully now those 2 primers don't land on each other, or any of it on that. So I have stuff in varying different stages, all on the one stand. So hopefully now that doesn't cause me any issues, but I guess we'll find out in the next couple of hours. So I'm very, very pleased with the results. The tone hook cover thing, this little square, it could be a lot better. You can see that it's very, very wrinkly, but maybe I can kind of get a little bit of that texture out of it, I don't know. But I have some paint left over, like I said, so I might redo that down the line, like if it looks bad, you know, but we'll see. But for the most part, I think it'll be fine. Door handles have come out really, really nice. I think they look great, lovely sheen off them. It's absolutely gorgeous. And obviously I've got the back part of the door handle there. I've got some tape wedged in there to keep them open when I was painting them, so we've got paint in all the appropriate places. There'll be nothing worse than you opening the handle and seeing the black part there, if that makes sense. Spoiler has come out pretty good. It'll need a little bit of a sand and a buff. There's a couple of little fingerprints in it I just spotted right there, but again, it's nothing crazy. That's at the top of the spoiler, so you're never really going to see that anyway. I'm not too concerned, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So that's the end of this one, part 2 of the paint process for the Polo. So I guess the next time you're going to see this car, we'll be putting all of this stuff back on, as well as some other stuff that I have ready to go. I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited. So as always, check me out on Instagram, live updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again, hopefully very, very soon.